What's going on, YouTube? Now we're about to get a little deeper. So we've talked about astral projection, and for those of you who have not seen astral projection, who don't know what astral projection is, you may want to go back to my previous video and you will see what I'm talking about with astral projection. But astral projection in a nutshell is basically having the ability to leave your body, meaning the physical body, your soul, or whatever you want to call it, has the ability to leave the body and travel around your room, different cities, different worlds. It's nothing made up. Do the research, find out for yourself. Now, with that being said, I have another question for you guys. So now that some of us have actually experienced astral projection, we've left this physical thing we call a body. So here's the next question. Is there a such thing as death? Because astral projection is you actually leaving the physical body, and the physical body no longer really exists because your soul is gone. But is your soul, does it die? Does it end? You know, I remember when I was a kid, right? I was raised by my grandparents. And everybody was dying. Their friends were dying and all this other stuff. But then I noticed as a kid, early, I knew when people were about to pass away. My grandma would say something to the sense of this. She would say, "Oh, Susan is in the hospital. She says that her mom came and visited her last night." If you talk to somebody that works in a hospice, you will hear people in the hospice say, "Oh, my patient tells me all the time, oh, there's Ray and such and such standing behind you." And then, of course, the person looks back and there's nothing there. "Oh yeah, they're there. They're here to help me go to to help me pass on." Sometimes you hear this as if like the people, when it's time to pass, when it's time to go, as if people who have already passed away are there to help you through this process. I just hear that a lot. And even let's go a little further into death. I've read over 1,000 stories and near-death experiences. And what we hear at the near-death experiences is that people are actually going through the tunnel. As they go through the tunnel gets brighter. And the light gets so bright, it's brighter than the sun, but you're able to look at this bright light. And all of a sudden, a being appears. The being never says what it is or anything of that nature, whatever. It has this peaceful feeling that people have never felt in their life. But I've noticed that Christians call this being Jesus. Some Muslims call this being Muhammad. Some Buddhists call this being Buddha. But it almost comes to the situation of whatever you experience in life, whatever you follow in life, that is what you view this being as being. That's what you see this being as. But then all of a sudden, people are going forward and they want to go, and all of a sudden they feel like a vacuum is sucking them back, and boom, and they're back in their body. Like I said, this is not something I'm making up. If I challenge you to read stories of near-death experiences. I challenge you to read Sharon Stone, the actress, when she had a brain aneurysm and she had a near-death experience. This is real. It's just, life in itself is such a mystery. And some people says, well, this is right. And some people say, well, this is right. And a lot of times, I think sometimes we're not supposed to know all of the truth. Some things are supposed to be mysteries to us. I have a lot of other things that I can go on with this. But basically, what I was saying is that is there a such thing as death? Is there a such thing as dying and there's no more? Well, the people who say that there's no more, there's proof of that because astral projection is real. You can actually leave your body and travel. But when you leave your body, that part of you that leaves the body, does that die? And I would have to say, no, it does not die. So death in the sense of everything stopping, everything is not existing anymore, I would say it doesn't exist. That's not true. It's you continue on. Now, what happens at that point, or what after that point, is still a mystery. But I think you continue on. So let me see what you guys think on this situation. What do you think of death? Some people look at death as a negative thing, like, oh my gosh, people are leaving and they're no longer exist with us now, and it's a sad thing, but I think they still exist with us, but just on a different plane and somewhere else. So let's open up a debate. Let's see where people are going with this, and this may move us to another video. But I just want to see what people think about death. Is there a such thing as death in our sense, as no longer existing, gone, no more? What do you think happens? So with that saying, guys, thank you for watching my new channel. My regular channel was Muhammad Apshan, where I talk about business and finance. Most of you guys know that. And this is a way just for me to vent a little bit about my personal side and questions I may have with my personal side. So with that said, take care, guys. Have a nice